to this issue of what the greatest needs and fears are. And just so you're aware, by the way, this was fascinating, honestly, is when we started asking the girls and the boys, in different focus groups, what are your greatest needs as a guy, or what are your greatest needs as a girl? There were some, and especially, frankly, in the girl groups, they really took issue with our way of wording that. They're like, it's not our greatest needs as a girl, it's just our greatest needs. There's not those differences between boys and girls. We're like, all right. Put on the board. Let's put on the board what your greatest needs and fears are. Yeah.
Or in the research for 4 Young Men Only, when we first did our survey questions about this whole bad boy issue, was what do you feel insecure about?
I'm not insecure.
About anything. Yeah. So then when we would list, which do you not necessarily, how did we word the question?
How do we word it? We said, in which areas, if any, do you feel insecure or less than confident? And we gave these lists, and then the last option was, I'm confident in all of these areas.
3%.
And it was like 3%. It was some tiny percent that picked, I'm confident in all these areas. But there is this, there's not a girl thing, not a boy thing. I'm fine, with all these issues. But fascinating. When we took that same group of girls where they were having this like feminist, there's no difference thing, and we said, all right, don't tell us your greatest needs and fears as a girl, just tell us your greatest needs and fears, period. So, we drew up the list, and then we said, let's just show you something. And we put on the board next to it the list the boys had drawn up the night before of their greatest needs and fears. And the girls were like, because it was so completely opposite world differences. So, for example, some of the gender things, like the fact that boys, like their fathers, most need to feel respected and powerful. And there's this huge fear of failure and this huge fear of being weak and actually appearing weak in front of others. Like the boys said, it's not just success that's important, it's other people noticing and commenting on your success that's important. That's one of those things that we didn't hear from any girl. It just didn't come up. I'm sure success is important to girls too. It wasn't one of the things that even made it onto the list. And similarly with the girls, of this innate feeling, if the generalization is that boys most need to feel respected and successful for what they do, girls had this innate need to feel loved and special for who they are inside. It's almost like the boys, it's about the external, and the girls, it's about the internal. And that's in a generalization, but that was a pretty good generalization.